Hello everyone, this is Raphael from My Factor Range. Okay, we are live. So we used to do the Ask Any Ticker show in the past. We used to do it on Twitter, and we've decided to relaunch the show on YouTube, where you can ask us tickers that you are interested in. Keep in mind that this is our opinion. This is not financial advice. And the idea of the show is to keep teaching you about the process and how to use the tools at your disposals. Now, let's start the show by going through a few tickers that were sent to us. So Vai, one of the tickers sent to us, the first one, is SILJ. SILJ. Would you mind sharing your view regarding this ticker?
Yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for submitting your tickers. If you have any questions or tickers, also feel free to put them on the YouTube chat. Yeah, so I will share my screen. Yeah, so now you should see my screen. SILJ, if the ticker is correct, it's Junior Silver Miners. No surprise. Of course, we all see what's happening in the precious metals land. So yeah, this ticker had a nice month in September. The actual high was the second monthly target, as far as I can see, and yeah. So also, if you put any new tickers in the chat, it would be great to know if you have a position or not, because the answer can slightly depend on that, because I don't know if you want to buy it, if you want to initiate a position, or if you have a position and are wondering what to do with it. But anyway, so month and quarter opened at 23.40. So 23.40 is our monthly and quarterly pivot. So the baseline where we will be leaning positive or negative on any asset. And currently we have this dip and we are below there. So if you are long and you are deep in the money, nothing to be worried about. Definitely, at least in my opinion, we will see more upward momentum in gold and silver itself, which can lead to the continuation and in proxies like this ETF or SLV or minor stocks and so on. So what I would be looking at if I don't have a position and I would want to initiate something, there are two scenarios for us to get cheap trades. One is to if dip keeps dipping, to see the reaction at the first monthly target, which is 2071, and maybe buy some there with a tight stop. It will give us a very cheap entry, or use our pivots. As I said, 2340 long above and not long below. Some people would say short below, but I still think that people shouldn't be shorting these things. But yeah, so you either buy a break of a pivot, or you initiate initial size at the monthly target. But if you are riding a great trade, then if we get upward momentum, 2609 would be a place to significantly reduce your positions. But on the screen you can see some numbers. So of course, for a year we are crazy bullish. For the quarter and month, for now, we need to see more data. But yeah, if you are long, and if you are deep in the money, you can wait to see the reaction at the monthly target.
And let's say you were considering adding to this position, what would be the way to conduct yourself?
Yeah, it depends slightly on how deep in the money I am, but close above pivot would be a place where I would consider adding to my position. Remember, all these prices are closing prices. At least they are supposed to be treated like that. So I would suggest you wait for the close above. But yeah, close or strong price action above the pivot would be a place to add a position with the idea that if it comes back below pivot, I'm not interested in it anymore, or at least I would get rid of the ad.
Got it.
And so yeah, and same applies to target. We reduce just slightly below monthly targets, and when we do that, and if we see that upward momentum is continuing, then also we will be adding to our position.
Okay. The next one is dollar general, so DG, D, like
Dollar general, you meant?
DG.
Yeah, dollar general. Yeah, I know that stock. We see nice two candles, one way below, and today it tried to bounce. So 103 is still our pivot. It is not looking good, at least for now. So I will just talk about the levels because I really don't know on which side are you playing. Are you playing the stock or not? So yeah, but the places of interest would be 97.75, and if we want something even lower, it would be 94.24, which is a target for this entire quarter. And break above 103.26 can take us all the way to 108, 112, and then 114 with expected reaction at every level. So again, cheapest places to execute if you want to go long would be 103 break of 103 or dip to 97.7, and then we can expect the numbers mentioned. Why it's important to execute at significant areas? Because again, not only from risk management perspective, but also from the fact that trading and active portfolio management is a business and you need to treat it like a business. We need to execute in prices where we will quickly know that, okay, this idea is working or this idea is not working. Because if you have some store where you sell some goods when you are negotiating with your suppliers or you want to order something, I mean, you will not pay random prices without knowing that you can expect to sell it for more. So same applies here. 97.7 or the break of 103 would give us very cheap trades where we can know that if it's not working, we don't want it anymore. Yeah, but let's zoom out a little, which is very important. And of course, trend is your friend. And yeah, you see the picture. And combination with ranges. Yeah, so yesterday we reached a regular term range. Today we are bouncing, but you need to see the reaction, and you also need to see where the longer term range is. So is the upside downside ratio is on your favor or not? But yeah, of course, we had this dip because of things. I'm not sure what exactly, but now every day we have a bunch of news. So what I would say about stocks like that are falling for quite a long time, and now let's say that is falling at least since August, and also we will get yeah, so we will only get earnings. Yeah, so we have plenty of time. So just keep in mind that it's really important to not hold bags and not hold positions that are not working. If you are in a buy the dip mode, or if you are holding and don't know what to do, my answer is always like this: if you are holding and position is losing, we are not in a business of hoping. So if you are still holding and it's deep in the red, well, you shouldn't be holding it. But if you want to execute at this price.
Yeah, actually, Dollar General, from the look of it, was a nice short at the beginning of September, because you had
Yes,
break of MFR trend, you had the break of the monthly pivot. So if you initiated a position, let's say between 109, 110, you already
yes, correct.
some profit at around 103, which was the first monthly target from last month. And now I would guess you are looking to book some more profit in the 97th area. And like Vi said, any close above the monthly pivot at 103, 103.26, which is also the new quarterly pivot, would would make you change your view. But if you were short here from the beginning of September, nice one. Good catch. Let's go to the next one. The next one is Target, TGT.
Yeah.
Funny. Same picture.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, very similar picture. And only thing is that we are today we are closing at the pivot, so I would be really interested to see what is going to happen tomorrow. But yeah, this stock is definitely not in a bullish momentum. It's going down, and if we zoom out, actually, yeah, so you would. I always like to see things from this perspective. So the year started, we had yearly targets, and for the entire year, year just opened, and we basically had no upside momentum, and same previous year. Previous year it touched the annual target, and that was the high, and it just continued to fall. And this year it's not even trying. So we are below first annual target, and definitely we can definitely retest, not retest, but test the second annual target. For stocks like that, I would definitely be interested in buying some of it at second annual target, which would be 74.10. But if we don't get it, check the pivot, which we are currently trading at, and use it as your, well, pivot. That's why we call it a pivot. Just you are long above, and if it's not holding, there's no point for you to be long. And if you are a long-term investor and don't make this mistake that, oh, I want to buy it, I don't have a position, but hey, I want to hold it for a couple of years, so price doesn't matter. Believe me, price matters a lot, and you will be way more successful in the long term if you don't hold back. So I see, again, I see plenty of opportunities. We had plenty of opportunities to enter into a great shorts, especially in July, and then actually in August we had this quarterly target, which is a solid line, thin solid line. So if you are short, again, congratulations. If you want to be long, you need to ask yourself why. But if you have a good reason and you know your why, then use pivots for that. But yeah, 89.48 is an area to watch. But if you see price action below, then we will definitely see 85s or even 80. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and yeah, this one actually broke the quarterly pivot in August, and it never looked back on the monthly pivot on September. Broke MFR trend. Volatility, I'm checking volatility as well. Volatility has been rising since 20th of August. So yeah, like Vai said, if you are short, great short. If you are looking for a long, good luck.
Yeah. It's very easy to talk in hindsight, especially when I rarely trade in individual stocks at all. But from the process perspective, I see plenty of places where I would, if I had interest in trading a stock, I would initiate shorts, and I don't see a lot of places where I would initiate longs. So, so just like that. And yeah, today's high is a high of the regular term range, so range nailed the high, but also maybe a little bit of coaching when you are looking at the ranges. Don't make this mistake. Oh, we are at the top, but look how great upside downside ratio for the longer term range looks like. So don't make that mistake. You need it to look great on both, not just on one of them. But yeah, no bueno, no bueno for sure. And yeah, be careful.
Okay, let's go to the next one. ETHA. So yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm actually interested to know your point of view about crypto, considering.
Yeah. So of course. Uh, Yeah, annual target. We are again at the annual target, and looks like it's breaking. So definitely, I would ride my longs uh, at least till the first monthly target for 35.80, where I would reduce, and then the next level to watch would be 39. But also don't ignore things like previous highs. It's also important, but the process is not using that. The process is using our targets and ranges. So we had opportunities to buy or add. So this is definitely different scenario compared to previous stocks that we were talking about. For now, crypto is by the dip and looks bullish. I'm extremely bullish on things like Bitcoin. I don't trade Ethereum, but yeah, check the correlation, check the spreads. There is a big chance that, of course, Ethereum will benefit from that. So yeah, it looks good from range perspective. We again have a lot of skew to the upside on the longer term basis, because I mean this thing basically every dip is being bought, at least for now this year. So these are the levels. I would, if you are long and riding this trade, which is a great trade, I would take it off below the pivot, because again, book profits, or at least a significant part of the profits, and if it continues to go, then you don't need to be very aggressive taking profits, because again you need to have a chance to make more money, because of course this is the goal. So on the move against me, I would cover significant part, if not everything, but on a move which is on my side, I would take some profits at the monthly target. But my view on crypto, I can quickly go to ETHUSD. What we will use? Let's use Coinbase. Doesn't matter. So yeah, same situation, and I would even say that trading proxies, so ETFs or things like that, holding companies, whatever you are trading that is crypto related, watch underlying. So for Ethereum, we definitely have an important level close to 4,600. Why I say close? Because I mentioned it multiple times, but with crypto, you need to check prices on the exchange where you would be trading. But yeah, 4,600 is important to watch, and the break above 4,600 will be very good news, because then I would be very confident that there's no reason to sell Ethereum below 5 handle. If we close above 46, then the next is 5,000. So yeah, for now, I'm really bullish. Crypto, don't make that mistake again. You do you trade what you trade, but when I say crypto, I mean maybe Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, not Doge or Fart or whatever that is. But yeah, crypto's good. So yeah, I hope I answered. If you are riding, perfect. If you are not, don't chase, wait for a dip. But if we come back to, to that asset, yeah, pivot is 32.50s. So maybe there.
I have a quick question for you, Vai, regarding so either Ethereum or ETHA. So let's say you wanted to initiate a position at the end of last month when we got the retest of the, I think it's a quarterly pivot on
Yes,
the
it's quite cool. Yes.
5th, I think it was.
Not pivot, target, but yes.
Target, sorry, quarterly target. So what would you have been looking for on that particular day on the 25th? Would you have put limit orders there? Would you have waited for the close?
Limit orders, no. Limit what it means to blindly put limit orders is think, oh, is you are fading the move, you are predicting the market stopping. So if I was watching, I would rather buy the break above. I always say breakouts, not reversals, no, sorry, reverse, but breakouts, not bounces or something like that. So I would be buying on the way back above. Or if I would see this candle, I would maybe before the close be buying somewhere here with a stop here, but I would not be buying at the first moment when it just reaches with the target, because with whatever your risk management is, but the way I treat this business, I mean, I would be stopped out for sure, because yeah, I would buy and then it would continue to go. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it would come back and I would say, oh, damn. So don't do it. Back above and you can buy, and easy.
So basically, I'm playing devil's advocate, right? But this is for training purposes. So let's say you were bullish. So in that particular case, Ethereum, and you are bullish because it's bullish trend, and you were looking for the range. You saw that the range were pretty good on that day. It
Yes.
actually go lower. I'm not sure we closed above, but it doesn't matter. And you also saw confluence, what you call, sorry, I always forget.
Matchups.
Matchup. So the
Yeah.
matchup, oh, you have a quarterly pivot there. So you saw we broke this pivot, and intraday you would be looking, for example, at a lower time frame to see, okay, we are reclaiming. I'm buying this break above and setting my stop below this target. That would be the way you would handle
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't look at charts when trading. For me, it's all about price, but it doesn't matter. Everyone has. So instead, I use quote boards. I use these charts just for the shows. The only thing that I care is the price. So yeah, I would have an alert. I definitely would never trade ETF, which, I mean, why would you? If you want Ethereum, you buy Ethereum. But because fees and other stuff, well, maybe in the US, maybe it can have some tax advantages. But I would not buy a related ETF, but not because it's bad. It's just because I would buy underlying. But look, if I see that I get an alert that we reached, then I would watch the price because, of course, price of interest for me at the day was 32.54. So if then when I see that we are back above 32.54, I would buy some and place a stop. Well, not 1 penny below target. I mean, you need to adjust for volatility, but what is scratch and tight stop for me? 10% of daily ATR, let's say, and believe me, it's very tight. But check daily ATR for any period you look at, even default settings, doesn't matter. And you will say, oh, okay, this thing moves, let's say, on average $2 a day. So, okay, cool, 20 cents below the target. Stop, something like that.
Good.
But yeah, or even if you're trading platform, if you're really using proper trading platforms, then you can use limit. But you place a limit, and even before that limit is filled, you already attach a stop to it. Most good platforms allow you to do that. So this way you don't even need to look at it.
Okay, let's go
But like I said, I like breakouts because if I would do that, let's say I place a limit and with a stop, from risk and from process perspective, it's nice. But I already see that I would be stopped out. So for sure.
So another ETF, this one related to gold, is IAUM. IAUM.
Well, GLD exists. Okay, so we are below the pivot. It's of course got a crazy month because of what's happening in precious metals. I already covered that, and I gave some levels to watch for silver and gold in the trading plan video. So definitely watch that. It came out yesterday. So these are the targets. I will not talk much about this because it's the same. I mean, gold, futures, GLD, miners, silver. Now it's the same story. So just watch the prices. So back above pivot will be a place to add because I'm sure people are not shorting this thing. So we are talking about bullish. Setup. So if you want to add on the downside, maybe 36.70. If you want to add somewhere here, wait for a break above 38.59, maybe tomorrow if the upward pressure continues. And yeah, if you are deep in the money and it's going in your favor, there's no reason to do anything all the way until we reach 40.50. 40.50 would be a place to scale out. But yeah, here are the numbers. Not much. I have nothing to say because if we are talking about gold, GLD, SLV, miners, junior miners, GDXs, whatever, we can actually, well, not skip, but I can show you the numbers. But there's nothing to say because it's all same song. So.
As there were actually another question related to gold. So we're gonna skip this one, but it was SGDM. Spot gold miners.
I can for 20 seconds or whatever, SGDM. Oh yeah, US has too many flavors of the same thing, so I think we need to get rid of most of them. But yeah, I mean, here are the levels. Check the numbers at the top left of the screen, and same story. And really, I'm not joking, same story.
Let's go to some Chinese stocks. First one is Baba,
Mhm.
which had a crazy ramp up actually.
Yeah,
Bullish.
it had. So, what to say? What to say is I will get rid of that gray line because it actually has nothing to do with that. So it had a up yesterday. We had a close below above the pivot. So if you're long, also yesterday you had no reasons to reduce or sell, or for those who were bullish, you could have bought it. So Baba is definitely in the spreadsheets. So open your spreadsheets, you will see those. But the plan here is simple. If you're long, close back below the pivot is a place to get out, or at least remove your risk significantly. And here it's in the middle of nowhere. You know that I call places like this in the middle of nowhere. So here's nothing to do. Absolutely. So it will either go back to the pivot, or you do something at the monthly target.
Yeah, and the next one is Baidu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same story. Okay, let's zoom out. Yeah, so ripping above second annual target. I will quickly. Oh yeah, 143, 144 would be the third annual ladder. So actually today it was the high. So again, in the middle of nowhere, don't do anything. If you are long, remove your risk here or take some profits there. If you are not long and you have this willingness to do something, well, it's not a place to do anything at
How
all.
how would you use the range in that particular?
Same as explained in a trading plan video, first and second one, each 1 hour long, where it's basically only about that. So definitely watch it. But look, another reason why you have no business in doing anything with this stock here. We are in the middle of regular term range, where we have plenty of downside and plenty of upside in the longer term range. I'm not that strict, so I would even call it that we are still in the uh, area where regular term range and longer term range is almost the same. So by definition, it's not a cap, but it's almost a cap. So again, we have another target which is based on ranges. But how I would use it, I would check what happened on day like this, which is 23rd of September, and the 23rd of September we had. Yeah, I mean, a retest of the annual targets, and so if someone wanted to buy, yeah, I would use that, but it's all about the confluence and the matchups, and I say that we are in the middle of nowhere here, and guess what? We are in the middle of nowhere there, but definitely don't short these things because we all know how it will end.
Okay, next one, PPLT.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like gold and silver again.
Well, platinum is actually, if you check relative performance for futures, you will be surprised. It's not it's not the same, it's actually crazy. Platinum is crazy and not a lot of people are talking about it. Yeah, but from the signal perspective, I mean, I will not repeat myself. Knowing what I just said about all the gold-related and silver-related ETFs, it's the same thing. So here are the numbers, and depending on what you want to do, don't buy below pivot unless you are executing against some target and you see the real reaction to that target. At least this way you will have a tight stop, because if you buy here, where is your stop? Come on. And also, yeah, so it actually the picture is a bit different compared to silver and GLD when it comes to volatility, because yeah, we are upside downside ratio is not in our favor here. So it's either a dip, or if you want to fade ranges, and for one reason or another, which you shouldn't, but you should always start from the ranges. But if you want to fade that, then break above of this one. Because think of that. It's important for capital flows. It's important for institutions, for everything. Of course, higher time frames, think of annual, quarters, but you want to be long something which is positive for the period you are executing in. So that's why the pivot is important. So definitely don't buy here or try to buy there, because buying downside targets, and I touched a lot on it in trading plan, buying downside targets is fading the move always. So even though that's why at least you will have a cheap one. And buying breakouts above the pivot, it's not fading move, it's joining move. It has way higher probabilities of working, because targets are important to scale out shorts or to add to shorts on a break. But for those who want to use it as an area to go against, so it means buying the falling asset. Now imagine, you will understand what I mean, that if asset trades here in some time, it will definitely be a falling asset. That's how it works. So buying here, then at least you will know, okay, maybe small size with this entire area in mind, or bigger size with literally trading against this target, but confluence and matchup. So because remember that if you are interested in this area, you will have even more important area here. Why more important? Again, there is a hierarchy. I explained that, but these are the levels.
Okay. Next one, and actually this one should be interesting. AFRM, AFRM Holdings.
Yeah. I was scalping Klarna a little bit, actually. So, yeah, so today, yeah, Klarna is up 10%. Wait, just to check for the sector, and then I'll come back. Yeah, Klarna was up 10%. The firm is up 4%. Yeah, buying if you planned to buy, that was not a terrible idea to buy. But below 76, you are not interested in this stock. Good news is that if this move continues, your upside targets are far away. So this is really good news. So the most important level is annual, of course, but it's $10 away. So you can have a trade where you are risking maybe at least not at least, maybe buck or two, and with a goal of at least 10 or even 15 or more. So
I'm actually
yeah,
to
sorry.
go deeper, to you use all the tools from IFR. So this one is also exhibiting a cap to the downside, but it's bearish trend, trying to actually get back neutral. So how would you combine all the signals?
Yes. Yeah, very good. So I'm showing the target chart just because it would be crazy to add all the tools on one chart, because then it would be impossible to understand what's going on. So of course I will stick to target charts, but this is the first thing that I'm looking at, not the targets. Targets, as explained, is something I'm looking at when I want to execute. So when I already have reasons to execute something. So for me, from confluence perspective, I would maybe want to see tomorrow another green candle, because it would not be the first time when it just tries to become neutral and then reverses. But definitely, what is this price? 69.80, 69.80. Yeah, we have nothing there. So for me, what's important from ranges perspective, I want to see price. If I want to buy something, I want to see price closer to bottom of the range, but that bottom of the range to match with the target. And when I say match, it will not be the same to the penny, but at least in the same area. But now another good confluence. Yeah, if tomorrow we trade inside this, it's another confluence, but I will not like that. I would actually want to see it at least back here, just because well, if tomorrow it gaps up a little, doesn't matter, even a little, and you buy it, well, your risk is quite big unless you execute with a very small size, which is also doable. That's not how I do. For me, precision is very important, but a small size with a slightly bigger risk in points, so maybe a couple dollars, $3 of risk to capture 10, 15 still makes sense, but definitely not a short. If you are asking about the ticker because you want to short it or add to shorts, same story. Trade against this. Below this, your risk here, and be careful. But if we zoom out, I mean, it's not. It had a very nice run from very important levels, and the buy was actually annual targets, but now the buy would be either pivot or break above this annual target. If ranges agree. So this one, it looks promising from trend perspective and the cap, but upside downside ratio. So if tomorrow we have a green day, upside downside ratio will not be very favorable. It will be in the middle of a range, basically.
Yeah, best guess was this person was already long and is looking to add probably.
Okay, thanks. Actually, it helps a lot. So if you're long and deep in the money, then yeah, let's zoom in. So if you're long and deep in the money, and tomorrow you see retest of this, you can add to your position, or even if it opens flat. If it opens with a gap up, you better wait. It's not a good idea, but if we are somewhere here or even a bit lower, you can add. But how I trade, how I view all this thing, you don't need to get rid of your entire position if you are bullish on a stock. But for example, if you add and then it looks like it will close again below this thing, get rid of that add. At least that's how I do it.
Mhm. Okay, let's go to next one.
But yeah, I will just mention it depends on how deep you are, because if you don't have a lot of profit, I'm talking not about dollars, but price-wise. If you are deep in the money, so whatever that is, but you bought as an example, I don't know where it was trading, but I mean, if you bought like 70s or whatever 65s, whatever, I mean, you don't need to get rid of your entire position. You give yourself a chance to make money, but if we are talking about being long and wanting to add, if you only have a little bit of profit, and there is one even worse part. I don't know if understand that it's not personal, and but I need to say something. If for some reason, which our process followers and users would not do that, I hope, but if you are long and you are in a losing trade, so your average price is not below but above, then two things. You should, thing number one, you should never add to a losing position. Thing number two, you should never have this losing position. And so yeah, I hope it's not a lose, because when someone says I'm long and I plan to add, I will always assume that the position is in profit, because if someone asks I'm long, I'm in a loss and I want to add, sorry, but that's how people blow up, and that's the only thing I wanted to add. So I hope I hope it's not the case.
You will always have opportunities to make money.
Exactly. There are no such things as missed trades, and the straight path to being broke is adding to a losing position. That's the only thing. So yeah, don't do that. But our viewers, I think, would not do that. I need to hope.
Next ticker actually looks quite nice because it reacts quite well to the targets and also to the MFR trend. It's APP. Pretty nice. I mean, on the way it behaves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Plenty of downside, almost low of the regular term range, strong bullish trend. Yeah. So now when we know that,
Early target was met.
yeah, second yearly target was met. It tried to break. It was not successful. Now we have a pivot. Now we have a new pivot, which is 71.1484. One thing I want to talk about this when I see things like that, because it's a bit different situation, because our pivot matches with a second yearly target. So it's actually even more important piece of information. So definitely don't be buying here. If you buy here, you should you should always respect your risk, but in this case even more, because if we come back, you better not touch that. But yeah, if you want, because it's quite a strong stock, if you want to buy the dip with a low risk, then you need to have patience all the way to 568, which you know, we all know how stocks move, and simply look at what it did the previous month and months. So I understand that 568 may look like it's far away, but be careful. If you want to buy the dip, don't buy anywhere here. If you want to add or buy the break, then yeah, you have your pivots, and again, good news is that if this holds, then your upside targets are far away, very far away. So keep that in mind.
Okay, let's go to next one. Hood.
Yeah, we had news, quite a lot of them, and of course, addition to the S&P 500. Yeah, top of the regular term range. Upside downside ratio is terrible. Obviously, strong bullish trend. Yeah, so if you wanted to add, you missed it today, so you will need to wait for the dip. And it doesn't matter if a dip doesn't happen and it goes all the way there. Well, you don't execute in the middle of nowhere. In your lifetime, you will have plenty of great trades, and you need to avoid random trades. But adding if we get a pullback, check the reaction here. And then when we see a reaction, you can add or initiate with a very cheap risk, and then you can expect 165. So yeah, and to the downside 117. But like I said, upside downside ratio is not good, so I would skip it. If you want to add, it's a bit different story. If if you bought way lower and you want to add, you can trade against the pivot. If I would want to initiate a position, well, first thing I checked was the range, and I said, okay, not here.
Yeah, Hood looked actually pretty awesome for a deep buy on the 5th of September. You had another matchup, another confluence.
Yes,
You
yes, it
actually
was
had,
pivot. I'm not
yeah,
extending these, but you can see that for the previous month, pivot was here. Yes, correct.
you also had let me double check to be sure. Yeah, you had the quarterly pivot in the 95 area, monthly pivot in the 100. You had a cap to the downside.
And it touched it.
And it's touch it, 5, the retest of MFR trend. I mean, this was load the boat day. I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Years ago, I would put screenshots like this in my journal as an example.
yes.
Of course, I don't do that anymore, but when a cap and the longer term and regular term, and not only the cap, but it was the actual low. Well, there was a time when I was journaling and working on my playbooks. I would screenshot that and put it in there for sure.
Okay, that was a nice.
That's what I call the process, and that you don't need to uh, think that you will miss a trade. If you watch Market Talk, you know that I had limit order on Bitcoin at 108,200 something, because that was the pivot. I'm all about the precision. And guess what? The actual low of Bitcoin, at least on where I'm trading, was 108,450. And now it's at 120,000. So guess what? My order was not filled. I'm not participating in that thing, and I couldn't care less. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I sent you a message to say, did you get
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
why? I said, we are almost at 108. He said, yeah, but it didn't go there, so I'm not buying.
Yeah, but it's things like this actually is very important. It's the most important part of that.
Yeah, you're
If I
right.
want a price, I will get the price or I will not get it at all. I mean, so
Okay, let's go to the next one. So your favorite darling, I don't know if it's still your darling, but Palantir.
it is, but I reduced significantly. I had thousands of shares, but why thousands of shares? Because I was buying it in single digits and low two digits. So I was buying and buying and buying, and no, I'm not buying anymore. I have some. I started selling covered calls, not on an entire position, but I started selling covered calls on some of that. And sometimes some shares are getting called away. Uh, yeah, I like it. Oh, I mean, you can easily call it my darling. I mean, at least I don't know what will happen, of course, but just because I have plenty, I'm not buying at these prices anymore. And yeah, now ignore everything what I just said because it's only because for my PA, there was a time when I had too many shares for any diversification or man too many. So now I think I have enough. So pivot is 181 targets to the downside. 162 and then 150. The most important price to the downside would be 150 because quarterlies, because we will not be looking at annual targets because, well, it will not go to 40, at least not now. So it's not even worth talking about. So yeah, and if you add it on a break, or if you will if you add on a retest of a pivot, then you can expect 200. And if you want to initiate, same story, but then be even more precise with your risk management. So 10% of ATR, this thing moves enough. So believe me, 10% of ATR. If you are wrong, you're wrong. It's not a swing trading thing where people talk, oh, my risk is 2 ATR or whatever. No. 2 ATR 5 times in a row will get you in a deep, deep hole, believe me. So yeah, but these are the targets. And I mean, I have nothing bearish to say about that, apart from the fact that it went up quicker when I could have ever imagined. So yeah, but that's definitely not a bad thing. So so, so yeah.
Yeah, and PLTR actually had a nice conference on the 5th of September. You had it tried to break trend and couldn't. It held at the close.
Yeah, I see.
Monthly pivot that was retested on the same day and went back above. And so it's basically the same idea as what you got in Hood, except the range was lower.
Yeah.
So upside downside ratio was not as favorable, but it was also a cheap trade to take on the return.
Yeah, but it's not the same as Hood. When I see things like Hood, I even sometimes think inside, damn, why I missed this thing. Because it's a textbook process of MFR. It's a textbook process of MFR. Just if there was a book that would chart with targets and ranges and everything would be in that book.
So let's go to the next one. PLTR spot.
Okay.
Reclaim of MFR.
I would not touch this thing with my enemy's money, at least for now. Why? Because of this radiator, or how you call it, whatever. But I mean, what is this? You need break above or break below for us to be interested. So if you have position, yeah, of course. So here are pivots, here are targets. If you want to initiate position, I mean, I would rather be buying breaks here or
So your
whatever. But
issue in this particular scenario is the lack of momentum, right?
oh yeah, of course. I mean, what's the point buying something that's doing this back and forth for, I mean, months?
Okay, let's go next one. So TQQQ.
Yeah, I saw this on X, and I can immediately say that don't use these levels, and I will show you them, but because of compounding and negative compounding and positive compounding in these leverage ETFs, you need to understand that you need to use QQQ levels, not TQQQ levels. And if you trade TQQQ, it's fine, you do you, but it seems like asking for what's a good example? I don't know, asking for targets on some put option which expires in November, strike for SPY, strike that. I mean, no. Use the levels on SPY, not on that put option. So, yeah, of course, it's not a perfect example, but same thing. I mean, here are the ranges. We still have some upside, but upside downside ratio is not looking good. And if you want targets for that, we are at the annual target, and it struggles to go above that target for a while. But you will see that, so here are the numbers, but you will see that the picture is, first thing you will think, oh, that it's very similar. Actually, it's not really, and you need to use these levels for TQQQ and sorry, for QQQ, and then when you have a reason to execute in TQQQ, use levels on QQQ, because you need to understand there is not a 3 times relationship. That's why when you read prospectuses, prospectus of any of these funds, they say it's a daily return. So negative compounding or positive compounding works differently. So if if QQQ falls 1% a day for 10 days, and then comes back to the exact price where it was, so QQQ is at the same, let's say, unch, like we say, your leveraged ETF will be in a loss still, just because of how that works. Yeah, of course, you can watch those targets, but check targets on QQQ, and if you want to buy TQQQ, buy TQQQ. It's your process.
Okay.
Yeah, because for derivatives-based things, UVXY, whatever, there are plenty of examples. Use underlying. Use underlying, even better futures, but you can use ETF, but or a stock or whatever, but and then execute in some proxy. Same with crypto.
Okay, next one, Amazon.
Mhm. Oh, so you said you bought it.
Yes, I bought this one, so that's why I
Nice.
know what you have to say.
I have to say that you nailed it. I mean, good trade can lose money, bad trade can make money. What I mean, you nailed it, is that we have the most important price for the entire year, which is the annual pivot, in other words, annual open, and we closed above that. So great. We have a monthly pivot here, and also yesterday we had amazing reaction. It opened, and basically we had this great day, and the actual low was that annual price, and you know why it's important. And now it closed again. So yeah, bears lost, because here, I would be saying the same thing. Oh man, Amazon looks like bad news, but now. Yeah, just make sure that you get out if it's not playing. Yeah, but here's the pivot, and the first target is at 228, so 3% from here, depending on the size and your situation, whether you used stock or options or whatever. It depends how much you scale out or not, but then the next one is not that far. So 231 is a quarterly target, which is even more important. So yeah, but very important price. 222 is the price you need to lean on to be bullish or bearish, definitely, in this scenario.
Yeah, actually, it's
But yeah, but for me, it's even more important to stress to say that in places like this, really, if you see that it's tomorrow closing below, especially closing below also the pivot, I mean, you have no business in owning the stock, in trading the stock.
yeah, this sticker was also requested by Regav. I'm not surprised he's trying to.
Yeah, of course. Great buy here. Great buy process-wise, because still a lot of retail think that good trade is the one which makes money or which will guarantee you make money, which is of course fiction. But no, a great trade can lose money, bad trade can make money. But if you develop a habit to only follow your process, your results will be way better in the long run, for sure.
Okay, so next one from Ragav again, and I'm pretty sure it's because today it retested the annual target. It's Netflix.
Who
Unused.
was canceling? Elon Musk or
Of course,
someone? Yeah.
I don't know if I,
Oh, okay. I know it. Uh, I know that. Yeah, so if you don't have any position, don't buy uh, until it breaks the pivot. If you have position, you could add here. And the process says, yeah, I mean, if you had a position which is in profit, you could be adding here. Uh, because I'm not expecting someone actually bought somewhere here, but at least close, because I don't think it lasted for long, this price. But yeah, and we had a matchup, almost a matchup, because of course monthly downside is far away, not far from this level. So yeah, I will not talk about buying from here because come on, let's be realistic, because then people will say, oh, your examples are only good if you are staring at the screen of one stock for the entire day and you catch it. So no, it's not the actual process. So if you want to buy it here, this dip, well, wait for it to become positive for the month and then buy. But yeah, I saw the news, and this is a perfect retest, and you have some levels to lean on. So if you see the retest again, especially on this area in between, and you want to buy some, yeah, just make sure you use tight risk. But this matchup is way more important, so be careful, be very, very careful. Because quarterlies are very strong levels, very strong levels. OPEX also. So, but I don't know. I think no one is canceling their subscription, and it's BS. Of course, I don't trade based on what I see on Twitter, but I mean, whatever. So, pivot.
okay, let's go to Microsoft.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little, and then I will go to Microsoft. But also, we had almost the low end of the range, and at the same time, uh, so now, of course, before the trading plan, I would say just bearish trend, don't touch it. But I know that people will touch it. That's why I say matchups, matchups, and matchups. Okay, Microsoft. Microsoft was a great trade for me last month. I talked about it on Market Talk, um, and I showed that example in the trading plan video yesterday. But yeah, basically, okay, bearish trend. It's falling. Upside downside ratio is not interesting to me just because of the longer term range. We are still above the pivot. We are close above the pivot, so we will be checking what happens tomorrow. I will maybe even put an alert to see, to not forget about it. But basically, last month's 520 was my short call strike, and yeah, it played very well. So what we see with yes, what we see with Microsoft. Watch the pivot, and if you think it will go down, then Yeah, if you think it will go down 500 even, 500 even would actually it would be matchup of the exact trade what I did previous month. When I saw it trading somewhere here, I just bought a call spread, 500, 520. Yeah, we have a matchup. Downside is basically previous pivot. So watch 500 even. I would definitely be willing to miss this here. I would rather see the reaction at 500 even, but yeah, if we don't go there, we don't go there. But I don't like what I see, especially because of this leg down, which is still in play. So, and in this case, when I see things like that on a chart, I would lean on a trend even more. So bearish trend, and we have another almost matchup for tomorrow. Range is 506, but if we get this radiator or move down, the range will go down. So if I see a low end of a range changing direction, so for now I expect it to go down, but if I see that it will make a higher low, then maybe, but no. In this case, definitely. I would rather miss it, but I would maybe try to see what happens at 500-ish.
Okay, next one, BMNR.
Mhm. Yeah, perfect month, perfect quarter. How it looks like a meme stonk or no? Yeah, meme stonk. Ah, okay, got it. Got it. Okay, so whatever this thing is, you will lose money trading that unless you get lucky. But yeah, if you want to be long this, but with this volatility, it will gap the next day and you will see it. But if you're long, if you're long, your targets are with a 6 handle, so 66, then above 70. But it's nonsense.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's nonsense. I will not comment on that, and yeah, it's nonsense.
Okay, next one, snow.
No, that one is not nonsense. So, congratulations for those who are long. Of course, reducing at the second target at 246 would make some sense. If you want to buy it here, definitely don't do that. Yeah, I will not even comment about shorting that because crazy. But yeah, these are the levels. By the dip mode, if it falls back to the pivot, then you can try to do that. But other than that, yeah, to the upside, we have 246, 255, 286. And actually 286, 287 area will be very important because it's not only a second quarterly target, but it's also second annual.
This one
And
actually,
how ranges look like, I mean, yeah. So short term can reverse potentially, but longer term, we are in the middle of nowhere. So in the middle of nowhere is not a good place to be. What's good is that we clearly broke from this neutral radiator. So yeah.
yeah, this one looks nice actually when you have momentum and it's bullish trend.
Of course.
Okay, next one. We're almost at the end. Adobe.
Mhm. Everyone's most hated software company which goes up, yeah? Oh no, actually, it's not going up. I remember couple of years ago, I was very happy for a while when I finally canceled that subscription. It's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so hard to cancel and shady practices. Anyhow, I will assume that someone wants to buy Adobe, so it's not a terrible idea. It's definitely not a terrible idea to buy Adobe. And below annual red line, thick red line below that, get rid of. But yeah, if you are short, that was the spot to cover, because you can always re-enter your position on a break back below. But if you were short, that was that is the spot to get rid of that. And if you want to go long, then yeah, also same story, because you want to be long where you would get out of your shorts. That's the point. So if you don't want to sell it anymore, you can try to buy it. And here I would definitely not want to sell it anymore. So yeah, and the targets to the upside are quite clear here: 367, 378, 386. It looks good. No, I really, from this perspective, it looks good. But what I would want to see longer term range, maybe closer to regular term range. But hey, if you were riding shorts on that stock, at least for my process, I would it would be the spot where I would not be short anymore.
Yeah, next one is XOM. And yeah, before going there, maybe we'll talk about oil after going there, we'll maybe talk about oil quickly.
Oh yeah, we will talk about oil. We talked about oil before the show. So oil will go down, most likely. It's not, I don't trade these opinions when I trade my futures, but for me, I can't find any reasons to buy CL, for example, at least now. So, of course, this thing is very dependent. And all these layoffs, usually, when the company announces layoffs, usually it's positive for a stock. I don't think it's in this case, because all these tariffs, at the same time, oil prices are down, but they need pipes, they need a lot of stuff. And I listened to interviews with some oil-related company CEOs on TV, and again, I don't trade that, but I mean, I would not touch this. Want to buy the dip. Annual open is 108, which is not far away, but if it goes down below the annual open, well, I would even buy puts on that thing. But yeah, I don't know why I would be looking to buy here. Process, of course, is the same. You can use pivot, but I will not touch it. I would not touch it, and yeah.
Yeah, we are talking about oil. So I was quite bullish on oil, basically on the last market talk, and got stopped like 2 or 3 days later. The volatility just increased. So can you go through, for example, CL?
Of course.
What do you think of it?
Yeah. So first, the most important price. The most important price is stick 62.64. Regular viewers and those who watch the trading plan, especially, will know very well why. 62.64. So of course we are way below. If I wanted to simplify everything for people in the most simple way, would be long oil above 62.64 for this month. So when was the last time we traded above 62, 64? And actually not that long time ago. It was yesterday. So, but yesterday was the spot, and so for futures traders to press a reverse button, for swingers and other people was just to get out of that thing. So yeah, and what happened when we broke that 62.46? Well, 64, sorry. Well, we see what happened. So even though we have quite an important level at 60.20, but today we almost reached it. We will see, but it's going down. It's going down. It's again at the annual target. So if we go below annual target, which is 60, well, currently we are at below that annual target, 60, 65. Let's make charts cleaner because now it looks crazy. But from the ranges perspective, that's why I say start with ranges. Start with ranges. You would think it's at the bottom. Well, look at the slope of this range. Does it look like a bottom? Can be. Of course, no one knows. But if I had to put my money on something, I would buy puts on that thing or short. I'm not, but definitely oil levels are. Wait, maybe. Yeah, let's have just to have some clean chart without anything. I mean, I would ask, I don't know, a 3-year-old child, what do you think is happening? And you say, oh, it's going down. It's going down. Oil is very tricky because, you know, we have these violent moves. So for day traders with proper risk management, it's not a problem. Actually, it can give opportunities. But for someone who holds proxies or stocks or futures or some ETNs, it's a tricky problem. So if I had to put my money on it, I would be short, and my target would be 57 handle. But for now we can't. We can't. See, because I would execute it at 62, 64. So I'm not in it. So that's it. Because futures market is have this very strong memory where the delivery happened or settlement if it's financially settled. So yeah, currently we are not even close.
Yeah, thanks, Vai. Let's go to the last one, Doggy USD.
Ragav.
Yes.
Coinbase, maybe. But yeah. 26 cents. Oh, 26 cents more than it should be. Got it. Uh-huh. Yeah, I never put a negative filter in targets because, I mean, if it's negative, it's zero. So your downside target is zero. There is not a lot of volatility here. So looks like this meme coin is out of fashion or something because we are in a very tight range for it, especially knowing basically it yeah, 21, 26. So if for one reason or another you are long 28, 0.284, get rid of that or reduce significantly. But yeah, that's why I commented with those smiley laughing faces, not because it's something bad, but because I have nothing to say. I mean,
Yeah, I think Raghav was trolling, right? Don't
yeah. So I hope so.
I'm interested in one stock actually is Tesla.
Uh-huh.
So I want to have your point of view about this one. Then I will check it.
Well, point of view. Uh, annual target 564. That would be huge. Of course, we are long distance from it, but I was not expecting 215 either, and I remember we were talking and in April, and look how many times Tesla actual low for this year was 215. 215 was the first annual target. Once, twice. So,
This is the annual target.
yes, this is the annual target. So first, let's take a look at the annual targets. So now Tesla is positive for a year. And what market did to the downside, it will try to do to the upside. So good news for bulls would be 565, which of course no one will believe, but hey, markets always are delivering things that we have not expected. So this is the annual picture, and I wanted to clean everything and just leave annual picture first because it's easier to see. And I will not talk about reducing, I will actually talk about getting rid. So the level where you need to get rid of everything Tesla related is 390. 390, it goes to 390, you don't have Tesla anymore. So now let's add one by one. So quarterly picture, of course, monthly and quarterly pivot is the same because October is also start of the month and quarter. So yeah, 443, we are below that. So if you want to do something to add, well, you can use your pivots. But what we have is a quarterly target is at also 5 handles. So you see that five handle can happen if flows continue to go into Tesla, and if overall melt up phase in the market continues, which I think it can continue. We have 6658 in ES, and basically when ES is above, that melt up phase will continue. So watch that. And NQ level, I showed our levels 2 weeks ago on a trading plan. So what I think about Tesla, definitely I would not be shorting here, and I know a lot of people want to short it here. Yeah, so monthly picture is the same. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so monthly target is also the 5 handles, so that 5 handle is everywhere. So if you want to do something, don't do it here. If you want to buy the dip, 380, but actually that would be bad because for me, especially when we only have 1 quarter left, 390 is the most important level, which is, as you know, that annual pivot. Basically, I would be short from 390, most likely. So we have some puts or something. So this is the first level to watch. But basically, if you want to buy the dip, that same 390, if it holds, buy that dip. If it doesn't, don't buy the dip. Breaks, yeah, everything is always the same. Pivot, we use our pivots if you want to add to a position. And targets, all upside targets are the 5 handle. So bulls should be happy about it.
Yeah, we covered all the tickers that were requested for the show. I'm going to try to index all the tickers that were asked in the YouTube video, so you guys can find it quickly by chapters. But yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah.
That was great, Vai. So we're going to try to do this show once a month after the monthly targets are provided.
Yeah, and we should decide on the limit of tickers per account, because otherwise it can become very long video in
Yeah,
the future.
and the idea is that you guys actually are using the tools that we provide. So yeah, we're gonna think about how to make this show, yeah, shorter, and but yeah, all those levels are available for elite subscribers. And yeah, Vi is pretty straightforward about the ways to use it. He's providing a monthly video with the main tickers that you guys have, that you guys want. Also at expiration, also provide those targets, new targets for futures contracts. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do the same show at the beginning of November. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And now I'm going to index the tickers to the video so you guys can use it in the future to go through the tickers that you may be interested in. Thank you, Vai.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I hope it was useful. Feel free to send us any questions you may have, and have a great month.
Have a great month, guys. See you. Okay. Yeah, we had the